What is up, my friends? Welcome to Flippin' Bats, where it is the first official off-season episode. A lot's been happening already. A big signing that we're going to dive into. I immediately finished up the season and went to Las Vegas. Maybe many of you saw me there posting a lot of golf content and baseball content. We'll talk about why I was there. We're going to talk about the big awards that have happened, MVP, and then the All MLB Awards was given out. And then kind of prep a big free agency episode that we'll do next week because there are some massive free agents out there. But today we're going to talk about the MVP awards, both guys winning those. We're going to talk about the big signing that happened with the Seattle Mariners and then prep that next episode. Just got back from Las Vegas. Was there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of last week. Because the All MLB Awards were in Las Vegas. And this year they did something a little different. They added the first ever, the inaugural MLB Classic, which was a golf tournament that takes place 60 players. One former player paired with one current player is the hope. Now, maybe you saw a lot of those posts on my Instagram and social media, or maybe you've just seen a lot out there but have wondered, what is this? And what happened? There's a very fair question. The reason you don't know yet what happened is because it was a made-for-TV event. It was taped, and they are putting together a TV product that will air on Tuesday, this Tuesday, on Turner, I believe TNT, and then on Thursday on MLB Network. There will be two separate viewings. It will be a different sort of product and experience. So Tuesday on Turner, and Thursday on MLB Network, you'll be able to see the whole tournament that happened. It was honestly incredible. There was a lot of really good golf, and there was definitely some really bad golf. Some really good golfers out there. John Smoltz is an absolute stud. Aaron Hicks is a stud. Some of the current players are really good as well. I thought Dustin May was great. I could go on and on with names, but there were a lot of good golfers out there. Paired with some veterans. Ernie Clement and Joe Carter. Joe Carter's great. Ernie Clement was a lot of fun to watch. Those two together were hysterical. At one point, I was watching Ernie and Joe Carter's group, and Ernie hit a long birdie putt. And he goes to grab his ball and go back to his caddy, and Joe Carter comes over and daps him up, and then they did the dance that Ernie Clement and Vladdy Jr. do after wins. So it was awesome. I loved it. And then the MLB Awards. So they're trying, Major League Baseball is making a bigger and bigger event out of the MLB Awards show, which has happened the last few years in Las Vegas. And Mookie Betts was hosting it this year. It's the All MLB Awards. So there's been 7 years of the All MLB team. And this year, it was back in Vegas. Shohei did it. They announced first team All MLB, second team All MLB, and a lot of the other awards. There was like a most exciting player of the year. It's an awesome event. But that's why I was there. So you've seen a lot of stuff maybe on my social media from Red Carpet, talking to the guys, and then all the golf stuff. It was awesome. So again, be on the lookout for that. Tuesday and Thursday, TNT and MLB Network, you will be able to see the golf championship and exactly how it went down and exactly who won the event, because I am not allowed to yet say that. Let's talk about some of the big awards that happened over the last week. Last few days, really. So we got a lot to talk about. First off, I was there right on the set, basically, when Tarik Skubal won his American League Cy Young Award. Absolutely deserved. The guy is a stud, and I was his first interview when he hopped off the MLB Network stage. I was his first interview to talk to him when he finished up and just ask him all about it's the previous episode of Flippin' Bats. We put that out as a full interview, but just all about the season and what it has meant to him and what he wants to do with his career and what his goal is in his career. And it was really, really cool. And I was not expecting it. So my reaction was just like, man, that's really cool. So what's your goal? And what do you want from your career? And he said, I guess kind of like your brother. And it was just really, really cool to hear Tarik Skubal, who I think is the best pitcher in baseball right now, say that. So Skubal wins on the American League side of things. Paul Skeens wins Cy Young on the National League side of things. His first 2 years in the big leagues, and he's now a Rookie of the Year and a Cy Young Award winner, and he's making this game look pretty easy. And he will be playing in the World Baseball Classic for Team USA, which is going to be awesome. So Skubal and Skeens are the Cy Young Award winners, and then the MVPs. The National League MVP was not much up for grabs. Shohei Ohtani won the National League MVP, and he did it again unanimous. Shohei Ohtani claims his 4th MVP award, his 3rd in a row, another one unanimous. His year, 54 home runs, 130 RBIs, a 2.87 ERA, and 165 innings pitched, and he's a World Series champion once again. It's remarkable. The Dodgers signed Shohei Ohtani, officially signed him, December 11th of 2023. So almost 2 full years, but 2 full seasons Shohei Ohtani has been with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And in those 2 seasons, he's been an All-Star twice, 2 All-Star appearances, 2 World Series titles, 2 unanimous MVPs, the 2025 NLCS MVP, 2 Silver Sluggers, which is the best hitter at your position, 2 Silver Sluggers for a DH, 2 Hank Aaron Awards, which is the best hitter in your entire league, regardless of position. Back-to-back 50 home run seasons, the first ever 50-50 season, and a 2.87 ERA in 2025. You know, another thing, another stat that really encompasses and really shows you how good Shohei Ohtani is, the all MLB Awards have been around there's been 7. All MLB award team has been around for 7 years, and Shohei Ohtani has 8 selections. Think of that. 8 selections and seven opportunities. He was named to one team as both a pitcher and a hitter. Absolutely remarkable what we are seeing. So Shohei Ohtani, never a doubt, greatest player we have ever seen. 4th MVP award, the second most of all time behind Barry Bonds, who has 7. I have no reason to believe he's not going to get back. And I have no reason to believe he's not going to get to 8 and pass Barry Bonds. Think about it. So he's won 3 in a row. Last year would have been the year, I guess 2 seasons ago now, would have been the year that you say he's not going to win it this year. He's only able to hit, and he's not going to play outfield because he can't throw. So he's only going to DH. He will not win the MVP. There's never been a DH that wins MVP. Well, guess what he did? He went out and created the 50-50 class. One of the greatest seasons, if not the greatest. I won't say the greatest because he wasn't pitching. One of the greatest seasons that we have ever seen. And he went out and turned into a different player by stealing all of those bases. So just when you think you know what you know about Shohei, you realize you don't know what you don't know he's capable of. And last year he showed us that just as a DH, he might be the best player on the planet. You add in that he pitches, and he is the best player of all time. So not a shock he wins. He did it unanimous. He's the greatest player of all time, and he just keeps rolling. And I think every bit of an opportunity he can get to 8. 3 in a row. He's at 4. He's 3 away from Barry Bonds' record. And I think when all is said and done, I don't see him slowing down. He's going to pitch next year. I don't see him slowing down. But I hope he continues doing what he's doing, and it's a treat for all of us baseball fans. So Shohei Ohtani wins NL MVP, and he does it in unanimous fashion. Let's talk about the AL MVP. This is coming from a guy that thought Cal Raleigh should have won the MVP. This is coming from a guy that thought Cal Raleigh should have won the American League MVP. Aaron Judge did not get robbed. Aaron Judge hit .331 with 53 homers, 114 RBIs, and a .215 OPS plus. There's only been 3 batting champions ever to hit 50 home runs. 3 ever. Jimmy Fox in 1938, Mickey Mantle in 1956, and Aaron Judge in 2025. The man was not robbed. He had one of the greatest baseball seasons of all time. In my opinion, there's no doubt that Aaron Judge finishes as a top 5 player in New York Yankees history. He's tied for the most MVP awards in Yankees history. Mantle, Berra, and DiMaggio all have 3. Aaron Judge is now at 3. He's in his prime right now. And what we're seeing, and I mentioned this about a year ago or earlier this year, what we're seeing is a Barry Bonds-esque run. Barry Bonds I consider to be the greatest hitter of all time. And Aaron Judge is entering that territory. There is no doubt that he is going to go down as a top 5 greatest New York Yankee of all time. And there is absolutely no argument against Aaron Judge winning this MVP award. There isn't. There were 2 good candidates, and the race ended up being fairly close. Aaron Judge got 17 first place votes, and Cal Raleigh got 13 first place votes. But there's no argument against one or the other. It's a very different vote. But I will not sit here, and nobody should sit here and argue against one player to make your argument for. Aaron Judge is absolutely deserving of the MVP award. He is the greatest hitter. I was growing up and falling in love with the game of baseball while Barry Bonds was doing his thing. But I wasn't as in the know and into baseball and watching it every single day as I do now. This is coming from somebody that is a massive Miguel Cabrera fan and grew up watching Miguel Cabrera up close and personal. Aaron Judge is the greatest hitter that I have ever watched closely in my lifetime. I consider the greatest hitter of all time, Barry Bonds, but I didn't watch enough of him. What I'm seeing from Aaron Judge is absolutely insane. So you could sit here and say, how can you say all of this and pick Cal Raleigh to have won the MVP? That's fair. But again, there's no argument against one or the other. What I do is I think I just personally weight being a catcher higher than maybe most people. I don't think it's understood or appreciated enough what a catcher is doing behind the scenes, what they do with the pitching staff, how they call a game, how they catch a game, how they prepare their bodies. I don't think people can quite fathom what they do. And I think I weighed that a little higher than most when I pick Cal Raleigh to win the MVP. I have no issues with Aaron Judge winning this award. And I've seen people say that Cal Raleigh was robbed. No, he wasn't. He wasn't robbed. I believe he was deserving, and Aaron Judge is certainly deserving, and Aaron Judge ended up taking home the award. One of the greatest seasons that we've ever seen offensively is what Aaron Judge just did. He was asked after he won the award when he was talking through his season, and one thing stuck with me, and I think, one thing stuck with me, and I wanted to read it. He said, I think I'd trade away every award I've gotten and every All-Star appearance for an opportunity to win a championship. That's Aaron Judge to a T. This man wants to win. He wants to win above all else. He is doing his part to win. And, man, I hope he's look, it's the New York Yankees. I hope these comments and his words put some pressure on the New York Yankees to be the New York Yankees and go do what has to be done to win a championship. I don't think they've done that the last couple of years. Honestly, in the last decade, I can't say that the New York Yankees have been the New York Yankees. I thought letting Juan Soto walk wasn't the Yankees being the Yankees. I just think they haven't made the moves that George Steinbrenner would have made back in the day. Aaron Judge, AL MVP, remarkable season, 331, 53 homers, a 1.144 OPS over the course of the season. That is absolutely remarkable. Third MVP award, and he is marching on his way to becoming a top 5 New York Yankee in history, which is a wild, wild thing to say. Saying a top 5 New York Yankee in history ain't like saying a top 5 Tampa Bay Ray or Arizona Diamondback, where their franchises haven't been around very long. This is the New York Yankees, and Aaron Judge is going to be a top 5 player in the history of that franchise. I do want to talk about both of these players, what we're seeing, Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, what we are watching right now with those two players is the greatest combo of stars in their prime at the same time that we have ever seen in Major League Baseball history. Enjoy this. I feel like every single time a conversation comes up online about these two players, it turns into something else. If it's Shohei Ohtani, the conversation turns into, we talk about him, stop talking about him so much. Stop talking about him so much. Move on. We get it. We get it. When it comes to Aaron Judge, it's sort of the same thing. We talk about him too much. What are we doing? Blah, blah, blah. Enjoy this. Stop any negativity ever surrounding these two players. Appreciate what we are seeing right now as baseball fans. I think people get too caught up in finding the alternate conversation. And with Shohei, it's, let's move on. Oh my God, he's talked about too much. And with Aaron Judge, it's whether you think he should have won MVP or not. And Cal Raleigh was robbed. No. Let's just appreciate what we are seeing all around with Shohei Ohtani, with Aaron Judge, what we saw this year from Cal Raleigh. We are going to look back in 50 years, in 2075, and say, I watched Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge in their prime. I saw two of the greatest players of all time. In my opinion, Shohei Ohtani, the greatest player of all time. I saw them in their prime win MVPs in the same time in consecutive years, which has never happened. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, NL and AL MVP in 2024 and 2025. That has never happened. We're going to look back and say, man, what an incredible time to enjoy the game of baseball and to be alive while those guys are doing what they're doing. I wish, I sit here as a baseball fan and wish that I was alive when Babe Ruth was doing what he was doing and Jackie Robinson came into the league and did what he did for the game of baseball. And so many players along the way. I wish I could have watched them. And we're going to look back in 50 years and say, we watched Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge in their prime. And we need to appreciate that while it's happening, and we need to understand the gravity of what is happening for the sport of baseball and appreciate that. Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge, back-to-back MVP awards at the same time, and it has never happened in baseball history. Appreciate it. So those are the MVPs and Cy Youngs. Over the weekend, a couple days ago, we had our first big signing of the MLB offseason. And man, this one fires me up. Josh Naylor's heading back to the Seattle Mariners for 5 years. And I love this signing because many times throughout the season, I saw what he was doing there. And I tweeted it. I talked about it. I said, this guy's got to sign back. Josh Naylor was fantastic in Seattle. And not only that, he was fantastic. I thought he made everybody around him better. He openly discussed liking hitting at T-Mobile Park. He enjoys hitting at T-Mobile Park. His numbers back up that he likes hitting at T-Mobile Park when most people do not like hitting there. It is the worst hitter's park in baseball, and it is tough for guys to hit there. To have somebody come in, perform well, say they like playing at that ballpark, make everyone around you better. The guy's an absolute gamer. It was a must for me. And I can't say I was super confident that the Seattle Mariners were going to do it. And they went out and they did it immediately. And they said, you know what? We went and made these moves at the trade deadline, but let's reward our fan base and the team and Josh Naylor himself with saying, you know what? We know we like this guy. We know we want this guy. He wants to be here too. Let's do it. And they did it. And I love that for the Seattle Mariners. It's a perfect fit. They needed to get this done because it is tough to sign offensive guys to play there. They needed to do it. He loves doing it. It's the perfect storm. And Josh Naylor is heading back to the Seattle Mariners on a 5-year contract. It's really the first big signing of the Major League Baseball offseason. I think we'll start to see some, we're going to start to see some moves here. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm recording this on November 17th, meaning this episode will come out on November 17th. By the time I record next week, I think we probably get another signing. I think things are going to start happening. I think obviously a lot of guys will sign a little bit later into the offseason, but Josh Naylor's a big name, and we're going to see some other guys sign here soon. So what we're going to do next week, next Monday, is going to be a massive free agency Flippin' Bats episode. Naming the top free agents, where I think they're going to go, who's a good fit where, a typical free agency episode. But when I tell you there's some big names out there, I mean there's some big names out there. And you might be sitting there listening or watching and saying, Ben, who are they? I'm going to tell you a couple. We got Kyle Schwarber out there, Pete Alonso, Alex Bregman, Cody Bellinger, Kyle Tucker, Framber Valdez, Dylan Cease, Ranger Suarez, Zach Gallen. In the bullpen, we got Edwin Diaz. Shota Imanaga was not picked up by the Cubs and is a free agent now. Imanaga. Some big Japanese names coming over from MPB. Muntaka Murakami, Kazuma Okamoto, also a third baseman, are coming over. Those guys are supposed to be studs. We got some names on the free agency market this offseason, and we're going to talk all about them here next week. But be on the lookout. Be on the lookout the next couple days. On Tuesday, the whole golf tournament, and it's not just like I don't want to sit down and watch a golf tournament with Major League Baseball players. It's a made-for-TV event. They're taking everything that happened and condensing it into a TV special. Tuesday on Turner, I believe TNT, Tuesday on TNT, and Thursday on MLB Network. They will be different products put together. Mookie Betts is part of the on-course entertainment, I believe, for it. Just a lot of good stuff. Be on the lookout for that. And then be on the lookout for our free agency episode coming up next week as well. Man, off-season's rolling. Off-season is rolling, my friends. Fun show, fun episode, fun week. Las Vegas was awesome. The whole event, the MLB Awards event, was held at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. That event is just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And I thought they did a fantastic job this year. It was awesome. The golf tournament was awesome. The legends that were out there, David Wright, Cliff Floyd for Team Mets, John Smoltz, Team Atlanta Braves. Paul Konerko was out there for the White Sox. Joe Carter, obviously a legend. Kevin Millar was hysterical. Brandon Inge for the Tigers, Mike Hessman for the Tigers, Royce Lewis was the Twins player representative, Will Smith for the Dodgers. So the Dodgers and Blue Jays were paired up on day one of the tournament. The Dodgers and Blue Jays got paired up, and Joe Carter gets called up to the tee box on the first tee, and they welcome him as his famous quote when he hits his walk-off home run in the World Series. They welcome him up like that, and he turns around and says, "Hey, Will, you're not going to get announced like that because you hit yours on the road and I hit mine at home." So it was just like so much fun back and forth between the two, and it was incredible. It was incredible. Joe Carter, Ernie Clement were fantastic. just be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that, and we'll be back soon in about a week. I appreciate every single one of you for watching and listening, and if you don't, please check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it there. Flippin' Bats Pod is our YouTube channel. We put out multiple episodes a week in season. John Smoltz joins us every single week in season. I haven't yet reached out to him. I don't know if I'm going to have him on in the off season, but at certain points I'll have him on probably, but it won't be this week. But check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the video, comment. That all really helps. I love hopping in the comments and talking back to you guys and having a conversation. But check us out there, wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, and on all social media at Flippin' Bats Pod everywhere. Appreciate you all. Love you guys. 2025 was the year of Flippin' Bats, and 2025 still has a few episodes left and a few off-season episodes at this point. What a fun week. Appreciate you all. We will be back soon next week for our big free agency episode. But remember, until then, remember, find your bat and flip it.